Well, Daniel, I want to really thank you for your time and also for being just an ideal patient here at Chronic Care Charlottesville. You know, you originally presented back in August of last year. You saw an ad, I think, on neuropathy. Do you want to tell us
What I did was I knew that I had a neuropathic problem in my legs because of all the symptoms that were there. So I had a nerve test done that affirmed it, what I already knew. And then I went on Google and said how to cure neuropathy.
Huh.
Boom, you popped up.
There it was.
And there was the book. And not only that, it was located in Charlottesville, which is fairly close to my house.
Yeah.
So I could actually do it. So online I made an appointment, and I think the next day or two I was here.
Right.
And then we got started.
Yes. What did your neuropathic pain, what, in the feet, I think I remember was worse, and then but there was also hands, arms, legs. What did that feel like?
Well, in the legs it felt terrible.
Yeah.
But there's pain that is there for no reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's tingling. There's feet hurting when I was walking. It was just numbness. There was like my feet weren't really connected to my body very well anymore.
Yeah.
So they disassociated, and a little bit before that, I decided I needed to pay more attention to my legs and started things, and then this is just the flood after that, which was the initial 90-day program here for neuropathy.
Good for you. And for somebody who's watching this, they probably really understand what this is like. But for somebody who's never had neuropathy, it almost seems like a conundrum, or like you mixed up your words, because you said you were feeling both numbness and pain.
Right.
What's that like?
That's the
Isn't that odd?
That's the oddness of the thing, that you can feel a lot of pain too.
Yeah.
And it's also numb.
Yeah.
And it would move around, but then it became pretty much where it was all of my foot and then coming up my legs, and they were cold.
Oh.
My feet were cold. And I guess that's pretty much it. If people have it, they'll know that they have it.
Yeah.
I've heard of people that feel like they got their socks on all the time.
Yes.
It's sort of like mild to
Yes.
laying in bed and they can't sleep because their feet hurt so bad.
Jeez.
And so you haven't had it yet, right?
No, yet. Let's not even say that. I don't want to have it ever.
Well, then the question is, well, now, how does one get that?
That was my next question. How? And I want to say, I think you'd be fine with me saying this, but you are one of the healthiest guys I know. Even when you came in, excellent diet. You're doing 2 hours of yoga and stretching and exercises every single day. You're super careful. When I laid out my diet recommendation, you almost looked at me like, yeah, I'm doing just most of that already.
Yeah.
Very rare. You're treating yourself very rare, very, very carefully. What was it that your doctors came up with as far as a cause?
Doctors came up with no cause.
Yeah,
Like with lots of things. I had a period of time where I had Epstein-Barr virus that just about, well, it put me down totally, but then I got Lyme on top of that.
Oh.
And I think that those viruses attacked my neurons in my nervous system and started killing them, and did a good job of it too.
Yeah.
Because there was a certain period of time when I was deep into my Epstein-Barr where I couldn't make a movement that didn't hurt.
Gosh.
I couldn't get up. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't get off the couch. I even had an experience where I'm on the couch. I want to get up. I can't, so I roll off onto the floor. Can't get up off the floor. My wife has to come and get me and lift me up. And fortunately, she's a big, strong woman, and lay me back on the couch. And that went on for months.
I just really can't. I really am trying to get my head wrapped around what that's like, especially for a guy like you who does all that exercise and all that now. But that's amazing that it just really nearly killed you.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I didn't think I was going to die, but I thought I might be decrepit for the rest of my life.
I can only imagine that.
Which I didn't like too much, and I'd spent years building my homestead as well, working hard, doing my practice, this, that, and little bit by little bit, I'm still doing stuff until actually I couldn't do anything.
Gosh, that's got to kill you just even psychologically. I mean, I know you. It's like you like to do stuff, and you got projects. You got so many vision, such a vision of the way you see your homestead and your business that you're doing. What did the neuropathy, let's say you had a lot of numbness, you had a lot of pain at the same time. How did that affect your daily activities?
Well, for a couple of months, there were no daily activities.
Jeez, wow.
And then I decided that I was going to work my way out of this. And so I would start working, building a fence with my friend Kevin to start with, and just went out there and did the work until I couldn't.
Oh.
And then I would lay down. And if I could get back out in the afternoon, which at first I couldn't, I would. And I just kept pushing that pattern. And I also did, what did I do? I did acupuncture. I did everything I could think of.
Really? Yeah.
To help myself cure. Little bit by little bit, I did get better, and then I'm left with neuropathy, and my hands hurt, and that's when I ended up here. Now, my hands don't hurt. You know, I can do the stuff that I want to do, but it takes, there's a phrase, regular practice with earnest intent.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it takes really to change anything.
You're right. Yeah. So you went through the neuropathy program. You feel like we just went over the numbers as far as how much improvement we're seeing. One of the hands improved 100%. The other one something like 85, 87% improvement there. The feet 50% improvement. Those are the numbers. That's what we measured. What's your perception and how you're feeling as far as your hands and your feet now that you've gone through the program?
Yeah. Well, I think my wife said it best, because I've always been an athlete. One way or another, a deteriorating athlete, but an athlete nonetheless. And what she said is you got your body back, don't you?
Huh.
Which means since I started the neuropathy program here, and changed my diet, I also lost 20 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And my mobility increased dramatically.
Yes.
So that I can be back to doing the practices that enhance my life that I love to do.
Love it.
And the work.
Love it.
Whatever that is.
If it's okay with you, let's shift gears, because after starting the neuropathy program, you realized, oh, hey, you guys have this thing for knees. What's that all about? So would you care to share with us, what were your knees feeling like at the onset of your program here?
It started when I was 50 years old. Felt like I'd run into a brick wall after playing basketball and racquetball and doing anything else I wanted to do, and all of a sudden I found myself limping across the street later in the day.
Oh.
And so I started stopping stuff, the stuff I thought was damaging my knees.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it would be better, sometimes it would be worse.
Wow.
But I would say over the last few years, I haven't been walking. I've been avoiding walking. Like I would park my car close rather than have to walk farther.
Wow.
I remember we had some chickens and I hated feeding them because I had to walk down the hill to do it.
Wow.
And so my left knee is it's fine. It doesn't
Great.
bother me at all.
Yeah.
My right knee still does, and even a few days ago I went for a long walk.
Yeah.
And then it started aching. It ached for the next day. Did some little practices and rested, and it doesn't ache now. It's a little sore and it's a little swollen.
Yeah.
But sitting here right here, nothing hurts.
So you say your left knee 100% better. The right knee, what percent improvement would you say you're feeling on that overall?
Well, I am walking wherever I want to walk now.
Nice.
I even ran a little bit a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
A very little bit.
Okay. All right. Hey, we got to start somewhere.
But my squats and all the different mobility drills that I do are dramatically improved.
Wow.
So I couldn't really put a percentage onto it unless it was like I can now do things that I couldn't not do before.
This is a perfect segue. What would you say if the top 1, 2, or 3 things that you did in this program? Because unlike many other patients that come in, you really do have a clue. You really do have an idea with all the yoga that you do, the stretching, the functional movements that you do, the very careful diet you're on. You really had a lot dialed in. So what are these 2 or 3 things about the program helped with the knees?
I think the rebuilder helped with the knees, actually.
Okay.
It certainly helped with the neuropathy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the trigenics,
Mm-hmm.
the traction,
Yeah.
I like the vibration so much, I'd like to get one of those.
You should get
Yes,
one.
I
Yeah.
probably will.
Yeah.
So we have the trigenics, we have the traction, we have the vibration. I don't know about the adjustments. They're just
Okay.
sort of, they happen and then things get better.
Okay. Awesome. It's okay not to know either. I don't know. It just all works.
But I can tell with those other three
Yeah,
practices,
cool.
it's like, oh, that feels pretty good.
Yeah. I feel the same on some of the trigenics, and the rebuilder is just really comfortable to be on. Of course the anodyne lights, those are comfortable, easy to put on, a nice heat, feel good.
Mhm.
But trigenics, that's one of those things when I get it, I definitely know, like when Joshua does that on me, I receive my own medicine.
Mhm.
That Popliteus, when he's drilling in on that one for me is like, yo, you got my attention. But boy, I get up and it's like, hey, that feels a lot better.
Absolutely.
It's an instantaneous thing.
And so what I don't know now is how to, well, I know how to maintain it as it is.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was a little better as well.
Okay.
But that's the direction I think I'm going.
Yeah, give it a little more time. For somebody who's near bone-on-bone knee pain, a lot of times patients in your scenario would go to the orthopedist and they would take x-rays and they would say, oh yeah, you're just about bone-on-bone, you're 72 years old, you need a replacement.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that
did
kind of
that.
makes sense. Yeah, so somebody's looking at this, maybe they're skeptical. You like I said, you're near bone on bone. What would you say to the skeptic who might be watching this? Like, well, I'm bone on bone, or I'm near bone on bone.
Yeah, I don't even know what bone on bone means really.
Yeah.
I think whether it hurts or not is a neurological phenomenon. Whether
That's
your
a good
brain
point.
decides this person needs some pain to
Yeah.
do something different than what they're doing. I went to a knee surgeon who was recommended to me, and she gave me a spectrum of people that really need it, and she only thought the people that needed it, the people that are in a wheelchair.
Oh.
They can't do anything that I
Yeah.
wasn't. I was like in the middle here. And what I
Okay.
want to be able to do is be an athlete again. He said, surgery is not going to get you that. Surgery is a
Fascinating.
serious business. There's a lot of healing to do with surgery, major
Good for
healing.
her, yeah.
And even said that I won't be crawling around on my knees anymore. And
After a surgery, for
after
sure.
surgery,
Yeah,
forever.
that's right. Yeah.
But I need to be able to crawl around on my
Yeah.
knees. So she gave me some shots, some fluids, and that's the last I ever saw. That was a couple of years ago. So I avoided, because of her, the surgery, which if I had that, I'd really have a mess here.
Yeah.
Right now, it's okay, and it has potential to get better.
Good for you.
So
Yeah. Very good. Any last words you care to share for somebody who's might be watching this right now?
yeah, even though as we get older, things are going to change, but it doesn't have to be catastrophic, and we don't have to be decrepit if we're willing to do serious practices with earnest intent. Meaning, we got to really be serious about it. It's got to be important, and it's got to be more important than our comforts and pleasures, because it becomes our comforts and pleasures of just feeling good.
That's sage advice right there, Daniel. Thank you so much for spending
My
the time with
pleasure.
us today. That was really good.